Everywhere I go, people seem to be saying Build 42 is harder. And honestly, I can see why they might say this. I mean, on paper, it seems like it would be. Melee combat got nerfed, the game was basically remade from the ground up, and you have to relearn it even if you're already experienced. And there's even more negative moodles you'll need to manage, like discomfort, smell, and the pain you get from muscle strain. But after actually playing Build 42, I've never experienced a more free and easy path to sustainable survival. I mean, I haven't been pressed by the Zomboids, at all. And this is talking the stock apocalypse mode. You can always make the game as difficult or easy as you'd like with the sandbox settings and mods, but when it comes down to it, replacing fast shamblers with slow shamblers is just such a nullifying change that pretty much everything else kind of difficult about the game doesn't seem to matter. Within my first 10 days of my first run, I basically had access to every important location in the town of Muldrow, which is supposed to be one of the more difficult starting towns. And when the helicopter event came, I happened to be about midtown, near the highway, blasting away with my shotgun, which, if you know anything about Muldrow, probably should have been the most dangerous moment of my playthrough. And in fact, it probably was, but that's like saying the most dangerous moment of eating a bag of chips is the moment you open it, because who knows, maybe you'll get a paper cut. First of all, not that many Zomboids came, despite the helicopter and the sounds of my shotgun. And as a side note, is it just me or is the helicopter event shorter? Anyways, I didn't get chased out of Midtown, I didn't get overwhelmed, I didn't stop shooting my shotgun so I wouldn't attract more, and I didn't flee back to base because I couldn't handle it. All of those things, honestly, probably would have happened in Build 41 under the same circumstances. No, I stayed and finished all the Zomboids at my leisure, and then I went home when I felt like it. And that's even with the significantly nerfed guns and melee. Now, these Zeds are supposed to be more difficult because some of them are randomly tough or have pinpoint hearing or eagle eyes, but they're too slow for any of it to really matter. And if I get in trouble, walking away is practically free, even if I'm exhausted. I've never had an easier time in Zomboid disengaging Zeds. For all the ones with better sight and hearing, just as many are deaf, dumb, and forgetful. And I'm not really using the new stealth mechanics either. I usually try to fight everything that I see until I can't anymore and need a rest. Another thing about the slower shamblers being mixed in with some faster ones, and others with various random traits that makes them easier to deal with, is the fact that they naturally separate themselves on their own, which means they kind of come at you one by one. This does make something like gathering them up into a horde, either to shred them with a shotgun or kite them out of town, a more difficult if not entirely pointless process. But it's unnecessary really when you can basically freely kill them one at a time, or even ignore them completely, because they simply can't move fast enough to catch you before they even forget that you're there. The most pressed that I've been through this entire playthrough, in which I've been aggressively pushing my luck the whole time, like with the helicopter event, is this time in this apartment when they kept coming through the window, but they were coming in a staggered fashion which made them easier to deal with. And then again, that situation was never all that dangerous anyways. Now granted, I haven't played Build 42 long enough to definitively make some sweeping statement about how Build 42 is easier than Build 41 with absolute certainty, but barring some colossal fuck up or other tragic misstep on my part, I can easily survive a long time, and I knew that almost from day one. And now after the helicopter event has passed and I'm left with these slower shamblers, there's almost nothing left to threaten me in Knox County except for myself. I mean, I haven't done anything special or min-maxed or even really been trying that hard. It's just been very casually easy. Now, one thing the devs might do to make this more challenging is to reduce the number of slower shamblers as time goes on, like say, it's all fast shamblers by peak day. But if you're someone who plays the stock apocalypse settings, the game is overall easier than ever, despite the many other balance changes and nerfs. Anyways, that's it. Let me know down in the comments if you find the new Project Zomboid easier or more difficult, and why. Alright, I'm out. Peace.